Welcome to Planet in Your Pots, where we help you get the most out of your travels. Today, we're heading to Baltimore, Maryland, to share some really crucial tips for your first visit.
Baltimore, Maryland. You know, they call it Charm City for a reason. It is an amazing place full of deep, rich history, some of the best food you'll ever have, and a really vibrant culture. But like any big city, a few insider tips can make all the difference. Sometimes the secret to an awesome trip isn't just knowing what to do, it's knowing what not to do. So today, we're covering 6 key things you absolutely should not do when you're visiting Baltimore for the first time. If you get these right, you'll be navigating the city like you've lived there for years.
That brings us to the number one thing not to do. Don't just wander aimlessly. Seriously, this quote nails it. Baltimore's neighborhoods can change in the blink of an eye. You could be on a beautiful, historic street one minute, and just a few blocks later, find yourself in an area you'd probably rather avoid. This isn't about being afraid, not at all. It's just about being smart. So your best bet is to always have a plan for your route before you head out.
Now, just for some context, these are some of the neighborhoods that, travel guides will generally say tourists might want to steer clear of, mainly due to higher crime rates. Again, the idea here is just to plan ahead. That way, you can keep your trip focused on all the incredible parts of the city. Being aware of your surroundings is just a good rule of thumb in any city, and Baltimore is no different.
So where should you go? Oh, you've got some fantastic options. You'll want to stick to the amazing tourist-friendly hubs like the Inner Harbor, historic Fells Point, and Federal Hill. These spots are packed with things to see and do, and it's probably where you'll be spending most of your time anyway. And while you're there, just remember those universal city rules. Stay alert, maybe don't flash expensive jewelry or cash, travel in groups if you can, and stick to well-lit streets at night. Simple stuff.
That brings us to the number 2 thing not to do. Don't ignore the parking rules. I get it. Parking in any city can be a total nightmare. But in Baltimore, making a mistake is going to cost you. A simple meter violation is $32. Annoying, right? But look at this. If you park in a disabled spot without a permit, it'll set you back $502. Nope, that's not a typo. $502. That's a painful, trip-ruining mistake you definitely want to avoid.
That brings us to the number 3 thing not to do. Don't let your guard down on public transport. Baltimore's bus and rail system is pretty handy for getting around, but you've got to be just as aware on there as you are on the street. Let me explain what I mean by a common problem. Phone snatching. You're looking down at your screen, kind of distracted, and right as the train doors are closing, someone can just grab it and they're gone. It happens that fast. So just keep your phone secure, know your stop before you get on so you look like you know where you're going, and you'll be totally fine. That brings us to the number 4 thing not to do. Don't handle encounters with squeegee kids incorrectly. Now, what do I mean by that? This is a situation that's pretty unique to Baltimore. When you're stopped at a red light at some of the bigger intersections, you'll often see people walk up to your car and start washing your windshield, hoping for some cash. If you're not ready for it, the whole thing can feel a little, awkward and high pressure. So, here's the foolproof, non-confrontational way to handle it, just like the locals do. As they approach your car, make eye contact and give a single firm shake of your head no. That's it. Keep your expression neutral, kind of like a poker face. If they start washing anyway, just crack your window a tiny bit and say clearly, "Got no cash." This just sets the expectation right away, and 9 times out of 10, they'll just move on to the next car. It's all about calm, clear communication. That brings us to the number 5 thing not to do. Don't disrespect local pride. And in Baltimore, that pride often comes in a yellow, blue, and red can. I am, of course, talking about Old Bay seasoning. This quote isn't an exaggeration. It is a religion there. They put it on crabs, obviously, but also on fries, chicken, popcorn. I've even seen it on caramel corn. What do you think about that? My advice, just embrace it. And that brings us to the number 6 thing not to do. Don't commit a seafood faux pas. Look, a Baltimore crab feast is basically a sacred ritual, and it has these unwritten rules. Trust me on this one. I've seen friends get a death stare for grabbing a crab before everyone was seated. So just remember, wait for your whole party to get there, use the mallet they give you, not your teeth, and please tip your server well. That's a messy, tough job.
All right, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's just do a super quick recap of those 6 don'ts to make sure you have an absolutely amazing time in Charm City.
First, don't wander. Always plan your route. Second, don't ignore those parking signs, because those fines are no joke. Third, stay alert on public transit. Fourth, handle the squeegee kid situation calmly and clearly. Fifth, respect the Old Bay. And finally, number 6, know your crab feast etiquette.
Knowing just these few local rules can honestly make all the difference between a good trip and a really great one. So now you're all set to go explore Charm City with total confidence. That's all for now, folks. Please like, share, and subscribe for more like this.